All right, so we're going to kick off with these big body movements, especially in the winter. It is nice to get your body a little bit warm and juicy before you start doing any super deep stretching. And we're also going to have an emphasis on breath today as part of our stretch break. So I'm going to inhale, arms up, and exhale, arms down. If you want to make that a little bit bigger, step your feet nice and wide apart. Inhale, arms up. And then as your arms come down, your whole body can come down. You're going to squat down as low as is comfortable for you. Pause at the bottom if you would enjoy, and then inhale your arms back up again. We're going to hang out here and do this a few times. The squat is not mandatory, so if you want to do a micro squat, you could totally do that. If you want to keep your legs straight and do a little slouch and then extend, that's allowed. You are a human with free will, so follow your intuition. But also, everybody's body may have something different going on today, especially if you feel like a colossal knot, just one big knot head to toe. Follow that intuition, follow that respect for what your body's telling you with whatever pain signals or discomfort signals you are noticing. Beautiful. We're going to go for two more here, whatever you've decided. And you don't need to be following my cadence as I'm going through this stretch. This deep inhale, arms up, exhale, arms down. You're going to be following your own breath, whatever feels right for you. Now we're going to sort of continue this movement and sort of move on. We're going to, this time when we inhale, arms up, I'm just tipping over to the side. So my left hand, my arms, right arm's in the air, left hand can be supporting me if I do need support with bending to the side, or it doesn't have to be. It could just chill on my hip, or it could chill in the air, however you want to do this, but we're going to the side. Squat down, and inhale my arm up and over, down, and we're alternating sides. The magic of alternating sides is I don't forget to count, and therefore I keep my sides even a little bit more. So the max that I could be uneven when I'm alternating is do one more on each side or one more on one of the sides. But if I were to do a whole batch of 10 and then forget to count and only do 8 on the other side, or 7, heaven forbid, then we would be more uneven. Beautiful. One more each side, really trying to maximize how much stretch, how much big, juicy, lovely stretch that you're able to get, how much depth you get with your squat if you're doing a squat, and same on the other side. Beautiful. So hopefully we're nice and warm, we're cursing whatever heater is in our room, and we feel really good. We're going to take a moment now to do some shoulder rolls. Really thinking about moving those shoulders as much as we can, and thinking about my shoulder as sort of a clock. I'm going around the clock, trying to extend my shoulder back to open up my chest. And then, just for fun, let's reverse the direction on that circle here. Beautiful. All right, so now we're going to let our shoulders drop down away from our ears. We're going to adjust our posture so we have the longest, tallest spine possible. And of course, my feet are comfortably underneath me, supporting me. So my weight isn't too far forward over my toes. I'm not leaning back on my heels, just balanced over my feet. And we're going to try and keep this long, tall, but balanced posture as we go through the rest. It'll be interesting to play with because we're also going to be playing with our spine and our position and our angles. So the next thing we'll do is a hip flexor stretch. We've done these many times in the past, but I did want to just make sure that we cover a slightly different variation here as well. What if I want to be sitting? So I'm going to demonstrate this sitting today. I am going to tip you guys down. It looks like it just needs a little adjustment. So if I was doing this standing, I would take a step back with my left foot, keep my right foot in front, and I would tuck my pelvis under till I'm able to feel a nice stretch. Now, of course, I could take a much bigger step here. I could tuck my pelvis under more than I currently am. I can also adjust my hip bones so that my left hip bone is coming forward slightly more, at least to square. And those are the ways that I get a hip flexor stretch. Then, sometimes we add our arms. If I wanted to do this sitting, I can do so just like, hopefully you can see this okay. I am sitting with my right leg on the chair. My left leg is extended back. And now I can do those same manipulations, but I'm not having to hold up my weight in the same way. Still need to use a little muscle control, maybe hold on to the chair so I'm not falling off. But I can tuck my pelvis. I can reach that left leg back. I can have that nice long, tall posture still. I can check in and make sure my hip bones are even. And if I would like, I can extend an arm up and over just to change the stretch and play with it a little bit. Take a really nice deep breath in here. And a really complete exhale out. Check in with your hip bones and see if you can adjust the stretch to settle into it even just 1 millimeter further, right? All progress is valuable. Does not have to be a big alteration to your position. You guys probably can't see the adjustment that I did, but I just tucked my pelvis under a little bit further here and reached my hip bone a little bit further forward, the left hip bone. Beautiful. And with a deep breath in and a complete exhale out, and we'll go for the other side. So if I was doing the sitting, I can literally just sort of swizzle myself over. I'm going to do this next one standing just to give you a different angle to look at. So left foot is forward, right foot is back. I can bend the knee of the left leg or not, dealer's choice, but I am going to adjust the hip bones so both of my hip bones are facing the wall in front of me, tucking my pelvis under here, and of course checking in with my spine nice and long and tall. I have a tendency to slouch, so I always like to think about that nice long tall spine, almost like somebody has one of their hairs pulling me up. Take a breath here, just finding the position, making sure you're able to feel a pleasant level of stretch, not too aggressive in your hip flexor. Then if you would like, you can add the arm. Just noticing how that changes the stretch, how it feels. And next, take a really deep breath in, thinking about settling into the stretch, thinking about expanding the ribs on my right side here. And a complete exhale. And now we're going to do our adjustment, settling in 1 more millimeter, settling into this stretch, dropping down with my hips or tucking my pelvis under, driving my hip bone forward, maybe bending my left knee a little bit more. Check in with your posture. 1 more lovely deep breath, just to enjoy this stretch. And a beautiful complete exhale, and we'll step out of it. Now, hopefully your lower body feels quite excellent now. We're going to do a little bit of cat-cow. We're just going to borrow that from yoga to go forward here. So, with cat-cow, we're arching and we're rounding. Now, traditionally, this would be done in a tabletop position, but if I want to modify, if I want to be sitting in a chair for this, I totally could put my hands on my knees and arch and round like this. If I don't have access to the floor or a surface to put my hands on and I'm standing, I can also put my hands on my knees and use that to arch and round. While you're arching and rounding, you might find that if you keep your legs super, super straight, you're a little bit limited in how much movement you can get. So it can be really nice to bend your knees. Think about that still long, tall spine, even though we've changed the angle. Long and tall is still good. And we're arching and we're rounding. I'm going to use this chair because I have it handy just to arch and round. And now we're going to think about the breath. So every time I arch my back, I'm going to think about inhaling, making that rib cage as big as I possibly can. Now notice that the front of my body is stretched when I'm arching, right? I'm arching, the front of my body's already stretched. I breathe, it stretches the front of my body even a little bit more. Holy Moses, what a great stretch. And then I'm going to round, and I'm going to exhale. I'm going to use this rounding position to exhale even more completely than I would normally be exhaling. Now we can alternate at our own pace, coordinating with the breath as long as it feels good. Bending the knees to get as much mobility as I can for my spine. And always staying respectful of my body. Lovely. Whenever you're ready, you're going to come out of it. If you have been in that horizontal type position a little too long, you can do this next one. Well, you may want to take a little break first, and then we're going to experiment with some twisting from two angles. So coming back to your hands on either a chair, a desk, your own knees position. This will work too. So coming back to this position, what we're going to do is a little bit of twisting. I'm going to take my right hand first. I'm going to reach for the ground. Reach, reach, reach. You can see that my shoulders are definitely no longer even, so I'm getting a nice little twist through my spine. And then I'm going to reach for the ceiling, opening up as much as I can. So I'm not able to get to 180 degrees through my arms here, but that's the goal, is eventually to be able to get to a gloriously open position. Beautiful. And now we're alternating at our own pace. So I'm going to inhale and then exhale my arm as close to the ground as it possibly can. Inhale my arm back to center. Exhale as I reach towards the ceiling. And back down. Let's do the other side. So first, just playing with the movement as we did before. Long, tall spine. Reach for the ground. And reach for the ceiling. And now playing with the breath as well. Inhaling and then exhaling. My hand as close to the floor as I possibly can. Here would be a different angle. And then inhaling and then exhaling. My hand up towards the ceiling. Getting a lovely twist here. One more time if you would like. And now we're going to stand up. So maintaining that long, tall spine, I'm going to inhale, lengthen my spine, exhale, twist. Just noticing how it feels different at a different angle. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And we'll do the other side. So now I'm inhale, lengthening, exhaling and twisting to my left. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist a little further. Hopefully it's apparent that my hip bones are staying pretty square to the wall. in front of me and they're not rotating with me. Beautiful. Whenever you are ready, come on out. Take one last deep breath for yourself. And thank you so much for joining me. Have an amazing afternoon.